your prana-vayu, which is linked, it is on their list, it is the pivotal or paramount vayu because it is linked to your lungs, your heart, and your circulation of your blood. Then we come to Apana. Now, Apana has to do with elimination. So it gets rid of all the toxins. Here, it works, direction is from the navel to the pubic bone. Apana is upwards from your diaphragm to the throat, and your Apana is from the navel to the pubic bone, a downward movement. So this has a lot to do with the upward would be the prana, downward would be Apana movement. So we are going to work with the asana that are linked to the Apana. So I'm going to read to you, and this is a book I recommend, Prana and Pranayama by Swami, Niranjanananda, Saraswati. And he describes it beautifully. I can fully recommend this book. And here we talk about Apana. Apana is the second prana, which operates in the pelvic region between the navel and the perineum. It sustains the function of the kidneys, bladder, bowels, excretory, reproductive organs. It is responsible for the expulsion of gas, wind, feces, urine, semen, and ova. It nourishes the fetus and expels it from the uterus at the time of birth. So what I do with my pregnant moms is I actually teach them how to use the Apana-vayu, for especially when during labor. So we use the breath so that it will help them with giving birth. Apana is experienced in the form of light particles moving downwards from the navel to the perineum. Due to the presence of the water and earth elements in this region, Apana is often felt as a heavy force. So if you think here, especially if you're having your menses, you often feel quite bloated and heavy. Apana, on a subtle level, Apana brings down the energy down through the koshas to the swadhisthana and the mooladhara chakra. So your base chakra and the one between the navel, your sacrum chakra. So what happens if there is an imbalance in the Apana-vayu? And here you will have poor elimination. You will also have that sense of heavy gravity, depression, and negativity. Because of the kundalini sitting at the perineum, you can see now that by tapping into Apana and prana, you actually here get the upward movement and the downward movement of to awaken the kundalini. So let's do our practice. Let's see how it works and just enjoy. So we're going to start, you might need a tissue, we're going to start with just 5 rounds of Kapalabhati breathing. So make sure that you're sitting up nice and tall. You can blow your nose. Roll your shoulders back and down. Put a smile on your face. I will count for us. You just do your Kapalabhati. Remember, your Kapalabhati is an inactive inhalation, and so it's passive, it's quiet, and your short, sharp, very active exhalation. So let's do this. Start. Just come to your center. Bring the awareness. Set the intention for today that you are going to work between the navel and the pubic bone. You will also find today we're doing your asana slightly different so that I can create that awareness within you. Center, close the eyes. Take a nice deep exhalation when you're ready. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Take a deep breath in. Let's pump again. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Let's do it again. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. You might be getting a bit lightheaded at this stage. Last round together. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. When you're ready. Just release. You might want to take a breath out from the mouth. Sigh out all your tension. From here, we're going to come up to standing. So come up however you're comfortable. Roll up nice and slowly, especially those with low blood pressure. Plant your feet. Stand up nice and tall. So today, I would like you is to have the awareness of tilting the pelvis slightly forward. So you're flattening into the lower back. We're going to start by just shifting the weight from side to side. Now you've got your pelvis slightly tilted and you're just rocking. Your awareness of your feet. Now it's not so much about the legs. The legs is a different value. You are going to circle around on your feet. So you're circling around, you're going across from the outside of the foot to the inside, to the toes, to the heel. You can have your knees slightly bent, and here again, your awareness is here. Come back to your center, and let's go the other way around. As you roll around, deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Bring yourself back to center. Remember your awareness, pelvis is tilted. Take yourself over to your right side. Come back to center and take yourself over to the left. Come back to center. Now this will switch on those abdominals. Just rocking, shifting your weight. You can bend your knee. I want you to feel these abdominals switch on. Might not happen right away. Slowly we're going to come back to your center. Now we're going to turn lengthwise on your mat. Come into a forward fold and into your downward facing dog. So come into your Uttanasana, walk your hands, come into Ardha Mukha Savasana. Now as in the prana-vayu, we rest on the balls of our feet. So we're doing the same today. Bend your knees and I'd like you to sway from side to side. Here you're just waking up the body. Feeling the stretch underneath your armpits. Now, from here, you're going to start to walk out your heels. Lifting your navel to spine, front rib to back rib. So as you lift your tail, your aim is to bring your coccyx towards the ceiling. Deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, and deep breath out. Now from here, I'd like you to open up your feet about mat distance apart. Bend your knees if you need to, watch your back, tilt the tilt the tail. So from here it's like you're taking the movement of the pelvis up and out. So it's going up towards the ceiling. And here you can sway a little bit from side to side. Once again, front, navel into spine, front rib to back rib. Right, from here you're going to walk, you put your knees down onto the floor, flatten your feet, hands come into shoulders, knees come under hips. 6 cat-cows. Exhale as you round up the back, broaden into the upper back. You're resting on the tops of your feet. As you exhale, you suck the navel into spine. As you inhale, you look forward. This is a wonderful movement, not only getting the spinal cerebral fluid flowing, but it is also stimulating and manipulating and stretching into the chakras. Exhale. Inhale. So you're doing this with full awareness. Let's just do one more together. Slowly, you're going to release it. Now what we're going to do is we are going to lie again with our legs up the wall. So, I'm not going to move my mat. I'm just going to take my blanket against the wall. And you can do the same. If you've got at home where you've got a floor, my studio is a bit cold. Floor studio is a bit cold. So I would say if you're where you are comfortable, now it's to bring your bottom as close as you can to the wall. And you're going to just bring your legs up the wall. Now here what happens, I'm going to turn and I'm going to do it against an imaginary wall. So you can see what I'm doing. So your legs are up the wall. From here, you are going to feel that you have a concave shape. Now we want to stimulate the Apana-vayu. You're going to tilt the pelvis ever so slightly. So now it's tilting upwards. Instead of concave, you've got like this convex now. You're flattening your back onto the wall as much as you possibly can. Hands can be next to your sides. So already you're feeling that lower part of the sacrum. You're feeling support. Flex and point your feet. Flex and point. Tuck your chin to throat. Lifting the pelvis. Point and flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. Now I'm going to open your feet. So flex your feet, open the feet just a little bit. Keep that tail scoot. There's actually a big difference if you're doing it against the wall. That's why I want you to do it against the wall. Point the toes as you bring yourself back to center. Flex your feet as you open up the legs a little wider. Release the legs onto the wall. Tilt the pelvis slightly more. If you can with your hands, connect, point the toes. Flex the feet as you open the legs a little wider. You're not at your full extension yet. Tilt the pelvis. You might be feeling that you want to do that. Tilt the pelvis. Point and flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. Point the toes. You can use the arms. Suck up. If you know your mooladhara, use your mooladhara to bring your legs back up. Right. Let's do that one more time. Open up the legs. Flex. Point. Now just relax the legs for a moment. Keep the pelvis slightly tilted. You're going to feel that little gracilis muscle. Just be careful. Your legs might be only this wide. That is fine. Gravity is going to open up the legs. So check your lower back is flat on the floor. Here, point the toes, suck up the mooladhara, flatten your lower back, bring the legs all the way back up. Now, you're going to bring the soles of the feet. So you're going to slide the feet down the wall. And here, this is where it's not as easy with me not on the wall. Inhale, squeeze the legs together as you you drop. Open the knees. Inhale, keep the lower back tilted. Exhale and down. So by now you should be having a little bit of sense of awakening in the lower abdominals. You lift up and you drop. Now your feet are on the wall. You're going to be more or less about this deep. Now you can, if you like, take a breath in. Breathe out of your belly breath. Tuck your chin to your throat, and here you're going to stay. Look towards your feet. Deep breath in. Use your elbows where you can and open up the knees as much as you can. Keep your pelvis slightly tilted so you feel yourself on your lower back. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Slowly you're going to release it. Bring your knees to your chest. Now you roll to either side, preferably your right side if you can, over to your right, and you bring yourself all the way up into a seated position. So we're using what we've learnt already. Coming into a diamond seat. Sit up as tall as you can, tilt that pubic bone slightly forward. Now I might suggest to you, you take your blanket, especially if your hips are rather tight. Take the blanket and fold it into a nice little support, a little bolster. Sit up, and that's going to lengthen your spine. Tilt your pelvis slightly forward. So you're going to feel this whole movement. Now bring yourself forward. Not rounding the back. Keep your breastbone lifted as you come down from the hips. Inhale, watching your lower back. Exhale as you come forward. Let's just do one more. Inhale and exhale. On the inhalation, you're going to bring yourself back up. Bring your right foot in, bring your left foot in. Sit up as tall as you can. Remember, you're tilting it forward. Flap your butterfly. So we're sitting in Barukanasana. We are the butterflies. Become aware of your pelvis. What does it feel like? Am I feeling my hips? So you're tuning in and you're starting to listen. Take hold of your feet, lift your breastbone, bring your elbows onto your calves, onto your shins. Do what you can. Breath in, squeeze the feet together, just as we did when we were up the wall. Breath in, breath out, tilt that pelvis. So you're drawing that pubic bone to navel, and you're going to inhale as you bring yourself back up. Now you're bringing your one foot and the other foot. By bringing one foot in at a time, it brings it closer to the perineum. So if you can, you sit yourself up and bring yourself as close as you can to the perineum. Sit up as tall as you can. Now remember, we did this against the wall. Tilt your pelvis ever so slightly. Round your back, tuck your chin to your throat. Look towards your feet. Breath in. You're still bringing this pubic bone forward. You're going to feel it working right here. It's like a triangle. You're going to feel it. Or a diamond shape. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. On the next inhalation, you're going to bring yourself back up. Draw the knees into your chest. Give it a good hug. Right from here, you're going to extend your legs out in front of you. Just give them a nice little stretch out. It's just also to close the hips. And on the exhale, doesn't matter if you don't come down very far. Keeping now, the pelvis is going backwards. So you're taking your coccyx back. And this is going to straighten into your hamstrings a little bit. It's also going to flatten into your lower back. Flex into the feet. And on the inhalation, you bring yourself back up. Now, because we're working with the base chakra and working with that kundalini energy, I'm going to ask you to bring your hands next to your sides. You can make tap your bottom. Let's wake up what they call the serpent. Tap it, 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 tap it. Slowly come back to center. Well done. Draw your knee into your chest. So we're going to work with asana number 8. It's not a spinal twist. You're going to reach forward. Take your right arm and wrap it around your back. Take your left arm, and if you can, take hold of your hands. You take hold of your hands. Now the aim is to try and bring your nose to your shin. As you reach forward, deep breath in, you bring it in as tight as you can. So we are stimulating right into the colon. Breath in, the ascending colon. You're massaging. Inhale as you bring yourself back in. Draw your knee into your chest. It's a form of Apana. Extend the leg out in front of you. Let's go over to the second side. Draw your knee in. Sit up as tall as you can. Take your left arm around. Take your right arm around. Flex into your foot. Breath in. And on the exhalation, you reach forward. Inhalation, you are drawing it in as tight as you can. Inhalation, exhalation, inhalation, and exhalation. On the inhalation, you're going to bring yourself back up. Draw your knee to your chest as you extend the leg. Give them a little tap out. Right, from here, we are going to come into a seated Virasana. So if you can sit either on the tops of your feet or take the heels out to the sides of your legs. So you've made a nice little place for your bottom to sit. Roll the shoulders never again. You might find yourself tilting backwards. Bring the pelvis forward. Lengthen up as tall as you possibly can. Now, if you cannot do this one, you do the last one with your legs straight. You're going to take your right foot and you're going to come into a little kneeling. Now, bring your left foot towards the center of your buttocks. Take your right hand around. Take your left hand around. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Now, on the exhalation, tuck your chin to your throat. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Keep your pelvis slightly tilted. Breath in, breath out. On the next inhalation, you bring yourself back up to seated. Well done. Take yourself into, here's my tissue, take yourself into a nice seated position once again. The more you practice this, guys, the longer the shin is going to happen. So, it will come. Patience, patience, patience. You either have your legs straight or you have it bent backwards. Take your left arm around. Take your right arm around. Tuck your chin to your throat. Squeeze in. Get as tiny as you possibly can. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. And breath out. On the inhalation, you're going to bring yourself back up. Under your legs, take yourself back into Virasana. Here, if you wanted to, if you're not sitting quite comfortably yet, you take your blanket and you sit on your blanket. This will just open up the knees. Tilt your pelvis slightly forward. Get that sense of length. Breath in and just sigh out. From here, we are going to bring our legs forward once again. So coming into Paschimottanasana. Extending the legs out in front of you, roll your shoulders back and down. Remember, it's not so much about the arms, our aim, and the legs. It's about connecting. Bring your chest forward. Come towards me. Roll your shoulders back and down. Deep breaths in. Oh, you're feeling those hamstrings. Exhale as you come forward. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Roll the shoulders back and Tilt your pelvis so the tail is going backwards. So you're bringing your Apana towards your thighs. On the inhalation, you're going to bring yourself back up. So we're going to work with Janushasana. So draw your right knee in towards your chest, and you're going to bring your foot up as high as you can. You can have your foot down here. Watch your hip. You can put something underneath your leg. Sit up as tall as you can. Your awareness is here. And on the exhale, you crawl forward. Roll the shoulders back and down. If you can flex into your foot, you flex into your foot. Wiggle. It's like, I like to say to the students, it's like you're crawling into this pose. So you wiggle into it. Now come towards the middle of your knees. Plant your hands, use your elbows, open up, broaden into your back. Let the breastbone lead. So your aim is to bring your chest onto the floor. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Bring yourself back to your center. Now, keeping this right knee down, take your right hand across your left ankle. Breath in, breath out, and stretch into your right intercostals. So we're breathing in and we're breathing out at the same time as we're doing our practice. So we need to stretch into prana-vayu as well. And on the next inhalation, come back to center, bring yourself up, draw your knee into your chest. Thank you for showing up, and you're going to take your leg out in front of you. Bring your left leg in, open up, sit up as tall as you can, pull out this extra bit of flesh, and on the exhale, you walk yourself forward. Wiggle into this, inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation, wiggle, 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 find your Janushasana, and from here, you're going to walk yourself nice and low between both of the knees. Here again, you're wiggling again. Inhale, keep your right buttons on the floor. It's not about how far you come forward, it's about keeping the bottom. Eventually, it's coming from the hips. Walk yourself back to center. Take your left arm over your right ankle. Take an opportunity to breathe into your left rib cage. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Bring yourself back to center. Lift your breastbone, and on the inhalation, you bring yourself back up. Well done. Come back to center. So you can repeat that one if you're comfortable with that. If your knee isn't happy, you stay where you are. Now, I would like you to bring your right ankle just above your left knee. On the exhale, and this is where you need to listen, bring yourself forward, especially if you've had anything to do with a hip operation or your knee, inhalation and exhalation. Now we're going to take it might be on your ankle, it might be on your shin. See if you can wrap your left hand around your left arch of your foot. Keep yourself low. Take your right hand around and rotate. So it's, if you lift up too much, it becomes an upper body twist. I'm wanting you to stay low. I know there's not much twist in the lower back, but I'd like you to feel, as you twist, you have, from mid-waist to hip, you have a little twist. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, come back to center. Change your hand, right hand on the outside now as you twist towards the left. Breath in, breath out, breath in, breath out. Inhale, come back to your center as you bring yourself all the way back up to seated. Lift your knee, draw it into chest and extend your leg. Let's go over to the second side. Exhale as the knee comes into chest. Inhale as you drop the leg. Relax the thigh. On the exhalation, you bring yourself forward. You listen, you tune in. Exhale. Inhale, release it. Exhale, don't tighten your thigh. Your left hand wraps around and you twist. You keep the chest low and you twist. Tune in to your prana-vayu. Exhale as you twist. Inhale, come back to center. And now you're going to twist the other direction. Breath in, breath out, breath in, and breath out. Breath in, you come back to center as you bring yourself all the way back up. Draw your knee into your chest. Let's see if we can take that one step higher. So it's a form of a lotus. So you bring, and here you need to really relax here. Relax down the leg. You've got your ankle going into your thigh. It's not often comfortable. Your knee is coming more forward than out to the side, and you're going to bring yourself forward. Deep breath in. Remember, if this isn't comfortable, you can do one of the other poses we've already done. Inhale and exhale. Now on the inhalation, I'm going to turn so you can see me. You are going to, so my foot is as high up to my groin as I can. You're going to bend your knee. Deep breath in and deep breath out. This might be as far as you go. That is fine. Inhale and exhale. Now from here, straighten your leg. You're going to bend your left knee, or you can have it straight. We're going to come into, so you're going to take hold of your foot with your left hand and you're going to rock here. Not into the knee, it's into the hip. And you're going to circle into the hip. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Now we've already warmed up the hips, so you might find this is could be a bit easier than normal. If it is, take your foot in the crook of your left arm. Bring your hands together. Now here, sit up. So here, you're bringing this forward. You're tilting your pubic bone. So you sit up and you rock your baby. Now if you find this is comfortable, this might be your level. If you find this is comfortable, lift up that foot. So you've got the ankle in your elbow now. Lift it upwards, draw it in. Thank it for showing up this morning. And you're going to gently release it. Let go. Right, so let's do the other side. Take your foot into a half bind. Remember, don't let the ankle drop into the inside of your thigh. Bend the knee, sit up as tall as you can, lengthen upwards. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, it's a large stretch into your thigh and into your hip. Slowly you're going to release it. Now, take your left leg through the gap. You can have your legs straight. Pick up, take hold of your left foot with your right hand and just rock into the hip. So we're just loosening up all that prana, those pockets of prana that might be stuck, that need releasing, and also the hip joint. Slowly release it. You're going to circle into that hip. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Let's go the other way. Ever mindful, ever mindful. Come back to center. That could be your level. If you find that you are comfortable, take hold and rock your baby. Sit up as tall as you can. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. If you find that's comfortable, lift up as high as you can. Bring it in, rock your baby, give it a hug. Thank you very much as you extend your legs out in front of you. Just release, come into a little forward fold. Breath in, breath out. You notice I'm coming towards my shins, not rounding the back. On the next inhalation, you bring yourself back up into seated. let's use that little bit of, let's come into a balance. So you can come into a nice Baddha. If you can't do that, you are going to just cross the ankles. Find your balance, make sure there's not a wall behind you. Look forward, tilt your pelvis slightly forward. Take a good solid grip of your feet. Find your balance. Now, focus between the pubic bone and the navel. Sit up as tall as you can. Now, my challenge to you is see if you can rock slightly more forward on the sits bones. Breath in, breath out. If you find that comfortable, you can take your hands, bring your feet towards your nose if you like. Sit up, deep breath in, tilt that pelvis slightly forward so you're not rounding your back. Breath in, breath out. Breath in and slowly breath out. Release the legs, give the legs a little shake out. Right, so working with a form of a heron pose. You are going to, now this might be your level here, with your ankle just above your knee. If you can take it a little higher, then you can do so. It is a balance. You're going to bend your left, so your right ankle is on your left knee, or just above it. Now, you might have to have your hands through, so your leg might be slightly higher up, and your hands come and wrap around your thigh. If your foot is lower down, you're going to focus on your balance. This might be as far as you go, that is fine. Finding your balance, find that inner drishti. If you can, you're going to walk your hands up the leg, sitting up as tall as you can. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Well done. Slowly release it. How did we do? Bring the legs out. You might need to massage the knees. That's fine. Breath in, sigh out that tension. So let's go over to the second side. Draw your left foot in, sit up as tall as you can. Now, find your balance. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Once you're there, extend the leg up to the ceiling. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out, breath in, and slowly breath out. Well done. How did we do? Come into your Vajrasana. Just for a moment, taking a few deep breaths in, sigh out the tension, close the eyes, tilt your pelvis slightly forward so you lengthen into your lower back. We are now going to go onto our tummies. You're either going to make a light fist. So we're working with the form of a locust. Not so much a back bend. We're going to be focusing on, instead of doing a concave, more of a convex, with your pubic bone tilting onwards. So you are going to either have your hands next to your groin, or you make a light fist. So take yourself down onto the floor. Just turn your heels out for a moment so you release the lower back. While you get your hands, now I'm using flat hands on the floor. My palm of my hands are facing my body. And here you might listen to your pulse in your groin. Now activate the legs, roll the shoulders back and down, and your knees can actually lift off the floor. Tilt the pelvis slightly forward. So instead of going up to the ceiling, you're tilting the pelvis downwards. You're going to lift up your right leg and push into, spread the ball mount, spread your toes. And here you're going to feel, you're going to feel right up into the buttocks, into the gluteus minimus and medius. So you're just pushing, extending, deep breath in, deep breath breath out, deep breath in, and deep breath out. There should be no pain on your lower back, and you're going to slowly release it. Let's go over to the other side. On the next inhale, you lift up, tilt the pelvis facing down towards the ceiling. You're bringing the pubic bone forward. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, and deep breath out. Now, if you're comfortable with that, you're going to lift both legs. On the inhale, tilt the pelvis, lift up. So here you feel the buttocks muscles are active. You don't have to lift the head or the feet very far. Keep the shoulders back and down. Lengthen those legs, tilt the pelvis. And slowly on the exhale, you're going to drop the legs. Keep the legs active. And on the inhalation, you're going to lift up your head. Tilt your pelvis slightly forward. So you're still creating that convex shape and not a concave shape. Drop the head onto the floor. Release the legs for a moment. You should feel how the buttocks have started to become active. Now we're going to lift the head and the legs together. When you're ready, on the inhale, float your legs, tilt the pelvis, prep, then lift up the head. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Think of yourself as an arrow. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, and on the exhalation, you're going to release it. Bring your hands underneath the shoulders. Take yourself into a frog. Open up the knees. Cross the big toes. You may rest in a castle. Breath in, breath out. If you're comfortable, you can walk your hands forward, even turn your head to one side if you bring your chest to the floor. Deep breath in, deep breath out. You're focusing on releasing into the lower back. If your head is turned, come back to center and exhale it to the second side. Breath in, release the whole of your body. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Bring your head back to center and then inhale as you bring yourself back up. Bring your knees together. We're coming back into down dog. Walk your hands forward. Exhale your feet and exhale yourself into down dog. Roll the shoulders. Now here you'll feel it a lot more easier. Tilt the pelvis and here bring the navel into spine. Walk your feet. I'm just going to walk my body a little further forward onto my mat. Open up the legs a little wider. Tilt the pelvis up to the ceiling. Get that same movement upwards. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, get those shoulder blades rolling together and upwards out of the way. Inhale, remember your focus between the navel and your pubic bone. Walk your hands towards your feet. Let your body hang forward. Deep breath, release your head. Bend the knees. And on the inhalation, you roll yourself up. Roll the shoulders back and down. Step yourself together. Breath in, you should feel a little bit of something happening over here. Heart rate should have elevated. That's great. It's starting to stimulate into the prana-vayu. Right, so let's come into a standing pose. So it's not so much about coming into a beautiful tree. It's with the awareness of here. Shift your weight towards your left foot. Float your right leg up. Now tilt your pelvis ever so slightly forward, and I'd like you to feel your gluteus minimus muscle switch on. You're going to inhale, don't drop the foot. Awareness is here. Exhale. Inhale. Keep the spine long, tilt the pelvis forward. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now, I would like you, on the next inhalation, tilt your pelvis, you're lock and loaded, you are feeling yourself earthed. Find your flight. The arms should actually be weightless. Slowly you're going to release it. Let's go over to the second side. Spread your right toes. Tilt the pelvis slightly forward. On the inhalation, you float up. Release it. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Focus here. You can even have your finger on the wall. Find your balance. Looking forward, look at your point, soften your gaze, and slowly you're going to release it. Take a breath in, sigh out your tension. Now we're coming into a vrikshasana, your tree pose. Not using the arms, not yet. Shift your weight over to your left leg. Float your right leg up. Here, tilt the pelvis slightly forward. This might be where your balance is. Now, you're going to notice that you can most probably bring your foot up a lot higher. Here, now what happens to the back? You concave it. Shift the pelvis slightly forward. You'll see how the knee comes out a little bit more. Now, we're not floating the arms upwards. I'm wanting you to experience the heaviness. But let's just float the arms up. They should be weightless for your balance. Focus on tilting your pelvis forward. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, and on the exhalation, release it. Find your little triangle or diamond, and slowly release it. Breath in, shift your weight. Inhale, lift your leg up. Bring your foot up as high as you can. Foot comes into the perineum if you can. Here, tilt your pelvis slightly forward. Open up your knee. When you're ready, have that sense of downward movement first. Lengthen up, roll the shoulders, find your front. You may do a chest breath. And on the exhalation, you're going to release it. Right, come into a forward fold. Exhale. On the next inhalation, you roll yourself all the way back up. Roll the shoulders. Now you could stay on that last level. If you can, float your right leg up. Shift your weight, tilt the pelvis, feel your buttocks switch on. Now take your right foot. Bring it up as if you can, as high as you can into the bind. Now for today, keep hold of that foot. Tilting your pelvis, I want you to feel that sense of heaviness. Let's just add a little bit of lightness as you float the arm up. Deep breath in, remember, as soon as you lift the arm, what happens? We push out our bottoms. The aim is to keep the pelvis going the opposite direction, so it's scooping forward. Now here, if you are comfortable, bend your front standing leg, bring your hands into namaskara. Breath in, have that sense, downward movement between the navel and the pubic bone. On the inhalation, lift yourself up and exhale as you put your foot down. Give your left leg a little shake out. Let's go over to the second side. Float your left leg up. Take hold of the foot. Bring the knee down towards the floor. Tilt your pelvis slightly forward. Once you're there, float up the arm. Watch your lower back. Keep that pelvis coming forward. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. On the exhalation, bring yourself down. Hands come into Namaskara. Breath in. Keep yourself scooping forward. Brilliant. On the inhalation, bring yourself back up. Undo the legs. Coming into a standing cat cow, just to release the lower back. Hands onto knees. Exhale as you round up the back. Inhale. Exhale as you round up the back. Inhale. Exhale as you round up the back. Inhale. Exhale as you round up the back. Now slowly on the inhalation, bring yourself onto your bottoms. Come into an easy seated pose. Now this depends on the suppleness of your hips. You might find that you're sitting like that. That's perfect. You work where you're comfortable. If you might find that you only have one ankle in front of the other, that's also good to go. If you can, I would like you to take your left ankle and bring it across. So when you're in Ardha Padmasana, half lotus pose. Sit yourself up as tall as you possibly can. Now from here, using your Pranayama, you're going to tilt your pelvis slightly forward. You're going to elevate upwards. If you can, I'd like you to come into a little balance. Hold that foot in. You're sitting up as tall as you can. You're breathing in. Your foot is coming up. Over to the right, outside of thigh. Deep breath in. How are we doing? Deep breath out. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Slowly release it. Well done. Let's go over to the second side. If you want to take out your leg, give it a little massage. Let's go over to the second side. Take the right foot on top of the left thigh. We practiced this a few times today. Here, my right foot is underneath me. All the way, take a breath in, lengthen up. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen up as tall as you possibly can. Breath in, roll your shoulders back and down. Inhalation, exhalation, inhalation. Let's just do one more. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Now if you find, bring your legs out in front of you and just massage around the knees and roll into the hips. So if you can, come into Padmasana, your lotus pose. You can do that. Now this is an advanced pose, so a lot of people can't do this. So even if you do this, cross legs, you are going to do whatever pose feels most comfortable for you, and you're going to repeat that again. If you can come into Padmasana, and guys, this has taken me a long time to be able to do this comfortably with my knees. My foot is still not right. Roll your shoulders back and down. Find your balance, and if you can, come into your balance. Bring the knees into your chest and sit up as tall as you can. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Find your flight if you can. Breath in, breath out. And slowly you're going to release it. Exhale. Undo those legs. So let's go. Straighten the legs for a moment. Come back to symmetry. Remembering which foot was on top. So let's take my left foot. I'm going to bring my right foot on top now. You can. And this is my more tighter side. Lift it up. Long as it's not hurting. Find your balance. Inhale as you lift up. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Find your flight. Remember, your diamond, your triangle. Breath in, breath out, and slowly you're going to release it. Well done. Undo the legs. We're all downhill from now. Give your legs a nice little massage. You can move your kneecap if you like. You can massage on the outside and the inside of your knee with loads of acupressure points. You can massage the thighs. Breath in, breath out. And then from here, you're going to cross your legs. And we're going to just do a gentle twist. On the exhalation, sit up as tall as you can. You're just going to twist up. Get the spine as long as you can. Tune in, close the eyes. Inhale, release it. Exhale as you twist. Inhale, come back to center. Let's change the legs. Sit up as tall as you can and exhale. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Slow, controlled. You're listening to your back. Right, gently release it. Now from here, we are just going to tuck the chin into the throat. Just roll your chin towards your right shoulder. Come back to center and roll your head to the other side. Come back to center. Inhale, lift up the head. Turning your head from side to side. Don't force it. Inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation, come back to center and exhale. So from here, we're going to come into, might be about C6, CV6, CV7. This is a nice acupressure point, which allows you to relieve the abdominal muscles, helps with constipation, colitis, and with gas. So here, you are going to go more or less between your navel and your pubic bone. So if you think your navel and your pubic bone, more or less in the middle. So we are going to roll down onto our mats. Have the knees bent, flatten your back, tuck your chin into your throat so you feel yourself nicely supported. Here, navel to pubic bone. Halfway in between that, you're going to take your thumb and push it down. It's more or less just over 2 centimeters or an inch. Not too hard, until you come to something a little bit more solid. As long as it's not creating pain, you're going to make little circular movements with the thumb into that point. Just small little circular movements. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Focusing on your breath, you're surrendering the rest of your body. You're focusing on your Apana-vayu. Right, let's just do this for another about 30 seconds. Breath in, breath out. There are actually quite a few different acupressure points for constipation. So, colitis, gas. So you wouldn't do this, of course, if you're pregnant. And if it's creating too much pain, rather find a part on your body, then I would suggest a massage. A nice gut massage. And there are plenty of those available if you just look on Google. Right, slowly you're going to release it, let go of your shoulders. And if you want to, extend the legs away from you, your palms are facing upwards. If your back's a little sore, you can have your knees gently bent, as long as the knees are not collapsing inwards. Let go of the shoulders and just surrender your body to the floor. Make sure that you are breathing freely in and out of the belly, so we are not still activating into those lower abdominals. Pushing up the belly, breathe it out. push out the belly and breathe it out. And once you're making sure that your belly is breathing in and out, you're using your chest breaths, then you let go of the breath completely. Drop the tongue in the base of your mouth. And here you try and let go of the body completely. Try not to move it, and of course this is when the mind becomes extremely active. Now this is where I am going to love and leave you for now. You are staying in Shavasana. When you are ready, you bring your knees to your chest, or you can stretch your arms over your head, have a yawn. And then from there, you would bring your knees to your chest and your hands to your knees and rock gently side to side. Then you would roll over to your right side, knees to chest, rest on your right arm. And you're staying in Shavasana for now. On the inhalation, you bring yourself back up into seated, and for a moment you would sit in an easy seat with your hands in Namaskara. Now I'm going to just read to you. It's taken from Bev Moss. She's a Reiki master and a teacher of Reiki teachers. And I think this is a really nice way of just a namaskara. I honor the night and life within you. I am grateful to have shared the space in time, in touch, in love with you. So from my heart to yours, have the most incredible day. If you like what you've seen, there are 3 more videos to come. To work with all 5 of the vayus, please subscribe. So from a beautiful winter's day in Elgin, South Africa, namaste.